One move in bed that makes a man go crazy every time.
Oh, you gotta give him that Hawk Tuah. Spit on that thing, you get me?
I'm it!
How does that feel to like be in the ranks of like Winston Churchill and Aerosmith?
That is one magic loogie.
Alright guys, welcome to the channel, America's Reality 360. We got another good one today. We're going to be talking about Hawk Tuah, alright? And I know you already know who Hawk Tuah is, so I don't have to explain, aka Haley Welch, but the world knows this girl as Hawk Tuah, so we will respectively address her as so. Now, you might not know this, but you probably do. The other day, this story dropped where Hawk Tuah and her nerd simp group that, you know, her team, will be respectable, her team of simp nerds, they ripped off a bunch of her fans, allegedly, of course, with her new meme coin she came out with, aka shitcoin, because that's what we call them now, because most of them go to shit. But we're not even going to talk about that too much today. I have an entirely different topic or kind of message that I'm getting out of this. I want to share it with you. I think you'll find it pretty interesting. Now, we're going to jump into this clip from TMZ. They caught up with her, ironically enough, right before this coin came out, apparently. And I want you to take a listen to what they say, because, wow, is it just absolutely nuts. I mean, the whole thing is absolutely nuts. Let's not waste any time. We'll jump right into it. Check it out.
So there's this rumor that you're being inducted into the Harvard Lampoon.
I think I am.
You are?
I think so.
Are you going to Harvard to get inducted?
Are we still going to Harvard?
TBD.
TBD.
How does that feel to like be in the ranks of like Winston Churchill and Aerosmith?
It's an honor.
Yeah?
It is. It's an honor.
You accept?
I'm very excited.
Would you ever go to Harvard and go to school?
I definitely would, but I don't think I'm smart enough to go there.
What would you study if you went?
Law, of course.
You would?
Yeah.
Really?
Elwood's in the making.
What kind of law would you like to do if you did?
I don't know. I think I'd be an attorney.
Attorney?
Attorney.
Let me ask you real quick. Do you have a meme coin coming out?
Yes, today.
Today?
Yes, ma'am.
What's going on with it?
Ooh. No, when you say what's going on with it, what do you mean?
So you are putting out your own because other people have tried?
Yes, I've had a bunch of imposters pretend to be me.
Yeah?
So I decided to come out with my own coin.
Okay.
And it's a really good way to get all my fans and community to interact and come together. Just good doing.
Okay. Where do we get this? What do we do? Tell me about it. Tell me more.
Where do we go to?
Solana!
Solana? And get a meme coin?
Yes.
Alright, is there something going on with Pookie?
Yeah, Pookie's my man, girl.
So there you have it, guys. Pookie's girl's going to Harvard. She's going to study law. And what kind of law? Attorney. You can't make this stuff up. And like, can we just mention the paparazzi girl like fawning and gushing over Hawk Tuah as if Hawk Tuah is like some super special person, when, you know, you're not even being a hater when you admit that this girl is not special at all. She's done absolutely nothing. And I'm telling you, why do I feel like I can guess exactly what this paparazzi person looks like? Yeah, exactly. You know it. But, you know, when Hawk Tuah's video first came out, the original one that everyone saw across the globe, I figured she'd get her 15 minutes of fame. She'd come and go, just like the other internet people like that we've seen. But I did not expect that the ruling class would make her the next manufactured, totally propped up, famous person that they want everyone to have like a cult following who listens to her and does whatever she says and is influenced by her. I did not expect that at all. And I mean, that is how it works, guys, just so you know. I'm sure you do. But like, you know, being famous isn't about being talented and having skills and being better than your peers. Take Taylor Swift, for instance. This might make some people mad, you Swifties out there, but sorry, Taylor Swift isn't just like the best singer out there and that's why she's the richest and the most famous and has the biggest audience. It's not that, okay? We've had countless people on all these singing shows. Like hundreds and thousands of people at this point with amazing voices. Like, a good voice is dime a dozen, if you're being honest, okay? Taylor Swift doesn't have the best voice in the world. She's not even the best looking girl in the world. She definitely doesn't have the best attitude in the world, the most grace, but yet she's the most rich, famous, because she pushes the line and a lot of other stuff. But this is how you get rich and famous, okay? If Taylor Swift stopped pushing the message tomorrow, she would be broke the next day, just like what happened to Kanye. He's a perfect example. I'm worth billions of dollars. I like Trump now. And it's gone, right? That's what happened to Kanye. We all know that's what happened to Kanye, right? Unfortunately. But yeah, that's how it goes. And I did not expect them to make the Hawk Tuah girl the next Taylor Swift, basically, just in a different space. And I just have to admit, okay, I never even thought this girl deserved her 15 minutes, all right? Because what she said was disgusting. Think about it, guys. I thought everyone was going to catch on to this. She said Hawk Tuah and spit on that thing. We all know what that means, okay? And everybody, and especially the guys, were like, oh yeah, and all these simps around her, they want her to Hawk Tuah on them. And I'm thinking, Hawk Tuah? Like, I'm sorry, girl, but if you're down there and I hear you hawking anything, you're going to have to go, because that's disgusting, right? I mean, you can Tuah. I'll let you Tuah. You can Tuah all day. And Mom, if you're listening, sorry. It's part of the reporting. But yeah, Tuah is proper. You can definitely Tuah. That's proper etiquette. Hawking, you should not be doing any hawking, all right? That is not a thing. That is not the way to do it. And I was like, that disqualifies this girl from ever being played again. But as we've seen over the recent years, the ruling class has been experimenting on what they can get away with. Think back to 2020, that experience that infected all of us, right? They pushed and they wanted to see how much more they can force us to do. How much more will we blindly trust them? How much more will we blindly follow them? That's what a lot of people speculate happened back then. And I think that may be happening with this girl. And I wouldn't be surprised if they were sitting around one day going, how gullible are these people really? You know, how naive are they? Can we get like the most brain dead person out there and prop them up with billions of dollars, give them a podcast, bring them on famous people's stages, right? Luke Bryan or whatever, that guy, the country singer. All these famous rappers are now showing up on her show, and I really feel like that's totally manufactured, and we've seen it before. We know that's what happens. And now the problem with that is it leads to a bunch of people falling for lies, and something like this getting ripped off for $3.5 million, the report is. And we're going to watch a video now from CoffeeZilla, another streamer, and apparently he's really into the meme coins and the Bitcoin stuff, and he's going to talk to her team. All right, and I really want you to pay attention to this. You may have seen it, like I said, you know, this story's everywhere. Every single YouTuber has made a story on this just about, but I like to wait a day or two, see what other information. I don't want to make the same video as everyone else makes. I don't want to have the same video that's out there already 100 times with the same exact information, same exact message. So yeah, we will look at the clip, but my point of looking at the clip isn't about this Bitcoin stuff, whatever. These people, whoever gave this girl money for this, you know, I'm not going to say you deserve to get robbed, but geez, like, be smarter. That's all I say about that. But I caught something a lot different in this clip. I want you to listen to it. Pay attention. I don't usually like to make fun of people for their immutable characteristics that they can't control, but I want you to notice a common theme here with her team and kind of how they act and sound. It's going to be a quick clip. We're going to wrap it up. It's going to be a short one, but check this out. I want you to see if I want to see if you notice what I notice.
Who's making millions of dollars on fees from this rug pull?
That's not a scheme. That's the
Who's making fees?
So we can keep this thing going for years. Okay. That's how do you think? There's so many expenses.
Who makes the money on the fees? Someone just made over $1 million on fees. Who made it?
First of all, the fees were there with Meteora pools, and that goes to yes, the creator, right?
Which is who? Who does that own? Who does that belong to?
That belongs to the project.
Who's the project? Who is the project?
Well, the project is over here, Haley Welch, right? And
how much does Haley Welch own?
This is Haley Welch's project.
So she owns all of it.
CoffeeZilla.
I'm just trying to figure out who owns it.
Do you know how much it costs for lawyer fees to create a foundation in the Cayman Islands, to hire directors? You think this stuff pays for itself? You know, this is how you run a project forever, is you have to fund that.
We'll just stop it there real quick, okay? The Cayman Islands, come on. If you know anything about shady business and companies, hiding their money, you know about the Cayman Islands and the banks people use there. And he's talking about lawyer fees. Isn't Hawk Tuah going to Harvard to study attorney? I mean, come on. They shouldn't have to worry about lawyer fees. But as you can hear, it's obviously a grift. Summary, if you don't know the story with this Bitcoin thing, they made it a coin in her name. Allegedly, it's all alleged so far as I know. I don't want to say anything that isn't true. But what's being alleged is they, pumped up this coin. They got a bunch of her fans to buy into it. And then they did what they call pulled the rug out. Basically like dumping stock. And I know a bunch of them like held it for themselves and a lot of stuff. I heard she got 125 grand the first day. And I heard in total it's like 3.5 million. And, some people are losing tens of thousands of dollars all in a clip. And they're not wanting to be accountable. So, but anyway, like I said, here we go. This is the real topic, okay? Did you hear this guy? Tell me you heard this mouth-breathing loser who I know is simping over this girl, okay? Now listen, this is the point. It's about bullying. All right, that's the whole thing. I did a lot of weaving on this one. I'm sorry. I do the weave. But it's bullying. We need to bring bullying back. I'm serious. We're living through Revenge of the Nerds. I've been saying it for years now, okay? And I hear other people saying it now. And we all know it, okay? And when I say bullying, I don't mean like killing someone because they're gay. Okay, that's obviously not bullying. I'll give you a perfect example. When I heard this guy, it just brought it back. That's what made me want to do the video. His voice inspired me. We used to have a girl in my school growing up. I won't say her name, obviously, but we called her, and if you went to school with me, you know, Shawshank Redemption. Okay? And I just botched that. So I look dumb. That's what I get. Because Shawshank Redemption, and we used to walk up to this girl and go, Shawshank Redemption, Shawshank Redemption. It was really bad, okay? She talked just like him. But Shawshank Redemption is doing much better in life than I am. She's got kids. She's happily married. She's doing great. And who knows, maybe picking on her a little bit and laughing at her a little bit when we shouldn't have, maybe that incentivized her to do something great, A lot of these nerds, they have like diabolical minds, man. Seriously. It's like,
Gee, mate, what do you want to do tonight?
The same thing we do every night, Pinky. Try to take over the world.
The Pinky and the Brain. Yes, Pinky and the Brain. One is a genius, the other's insane.
Dr. Frankenstein, right? We had our own little Dr. Frankenstein running around a couple years ago, remember? And it's almost like if you don't have the jocks and the preppies keeping the nerds in line, and the drama kids, don't forget the theater kids. It's like Washington, D.C. is a bunch of theater kids, okay? The science and the medicine and the pharmaceuticals and the tech, that's the nerds, and D.C. is the theater kids in Hollywood. That's literally what it is, okay? And there's other people, huge channels that make this point. I've known it the whole time. I'm sure you do too. I'm not trying to just like tell you stuff like I know everything, but I'm telling you, this is what it is, and a lot of people are missing it, okay? You need to kind of bully the nerds in school so they don't get this mentality where I can do whatever I want and there's no jock that's going to shove me in the locker. It seriously comes down to those simplistic terms. This kid never got a swirly. He's probably 20. He was in school, high school, like 10 years ago. You weren't allowed to bully this kid. None of the cool kids were allowed to mess with this guy. Okay? I'm telling you. And now he goes through life thinking he can just rip people off. I don't want to go too much with this clip, but I'm telling you, at one point he's saying they should be thanking us. They should be kissing our asses. He says it. Quote, I mean, you could take that to the bank. That's not alleged. I heard him say it. These nerds they're all pompous. They're all, they think they're so much smarter than you because he's like, oh, I know all this coin and computer stuff and none of these people will ever figure it out. And he thinks you're dumb for falling for it. They have like no empathy almost. It's like you thought the nerds had no empathy and compassion because they were bullied. No, it's like the chicken and the egg. Well, now we know. We know. Okay, they have the diabolical mind that kind of needs to be pressed on and pushed back a little and just reminded that there's always someone stronger than you. And if you take your brain and your crazy ideas too far, you might get a little beating. Okay? So anyway, we're going to play one last clip here, the other teammate, and I want you to hear him because like I said, it's a very common theme and it's going to further prove my point. Roll it.
So I'm sort of curious, like, not for the token price itself, but just in terms of the fact that there's fees that are being generated, there's an actual like
Hey
source
guys,
of income.
I hate to interrupt you, Nick. Hello there. But anywho, I'm gonna go to bed, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Okay. I guess we're talking over here.
And there you have it. It's a bunch of nerds. Now, full disclosure, that guy Nick at the end, I'm pretty sure he's not on her team. I think he's one of the good guys trying to figure out what's going on. But she did have another person on there earlier in that video, or another video I watched, and he sounded like a super nerd geek guy. And he was another one just lying and making excuses. So, you know, I do want to get my video shorter. I'm sorry, I'm working on it. But yeah, so that gets the gist. But I wanted to leave that part anyway, because listen to her at the end. She just cuts the guy off. Oh, I'm going to bed. Pops in like Alvin and the Chipmunks. Like, this girl sounds like she's 6 years old. Like, what is going on? What do we do in America? Did you guys hear that? I honestly thought it was like her little sister or something was jumping on when I first watched it. It was her. And she, oh, good night, I'm going to bed. It was like she wasn't even paying attention. Girl, you just ripped people up for $3.5 million, allegedly. You might be going straight to a prison. I mean, if you guys haven't seen this yet, it's everywhere. Everyone is talking about it. This girl may be in serious trouble. I don't know exactly. I'm not into the meme coin stuff and the Bitcoin stuff. Like I said, I'm more into like getting back to good old American principles, you know, and good old Americana. And I believe bullying campaign is part of that. And like I said, that doesn't mean, you know, really hurting people. You don't beat people until they're bleeding and broken. We didn't do any of that. I'm talking about pointing and laughing. Shawshank Redemption. Ha ha ha. You know, you got braces, whatever. Dude, I was picked on. I was picked on for being too skinny. I'm too skinny. That's my thing. And it's till this day. I bet you these nerds don't get picked on to this day. People come up to me and say, you're too skinny all the time. You need to eat. I bet you I eat more than half of them. If I ever walked up to someone and said, you're too fat, I'm done, dude. You're not allowed to do that. So I don't want to hear about it. I was picked on too. Everybody needs a little bit of, you know, pushback, man, so you don't go too crazy when you're an adult. And that's the point of this video. That's the point of the story. I hope you got it. I'm done weaving. We're done with Hawk Tuah. Let's be done with this girl, America. Okay, she ruined her 15 minutes. She was gracious to get a long 15 minutes, and now she's doing stuff like this. It's like she should have appreciated the podcast, you know, and just rode with that. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. If you're still here with me, I really appreciate it. Now I'm messing up my words. I don't do jump cuts. I try not to. I did like 2 this time, not gonna lie. But yeah, all right, tune in tomorrow for another great video. America's Reality 360. I'll catch you over there. All right, guys, later. Woo!